Okay, good morning, guys, and welcome to another episode or another session of Country Technicals. As we all know, this is basically a market outlook session where we're just looking for opportunities in the market, and I get to show you guys how I get those opportunities, yeah, so you guys can actually use it. So now, before we get started proper, for those that are watching this video on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the page, and as usual, you can always drop comments on what you want to be seeing from me. Well, yeah, so let's continue. Fundamental wise, we only have one high impact news today. That's by 2:30. President GDP. What?
Hello, hello.
Can you not hear me?
Scooby, I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. Just not trying to. Okay, so I was saying that based off of fundamentals here, we only have one fundamental news today, and that is prelim GDP Q on Q. That's quarter on quarter. Yeah, I think it's basically for the last quarter. Ah, let's just see how it goes. Let's just see how it goes. For now, let's jump on our charts and see what opportunities we can grab. Now, we're starting with AED USD. So yesterday, the opportunity we had on AED USD was more or less. Let me show you guys how we got it. So basically, when we were doing our analysis, AED USD was already creating this lower low here. So basically, what we do was simple. What we did was simple. We dropped our Fibonacci from here to here. And then where we're basically looking out for was around here, around the 0.618. Around the 0.618. And look what we had. Price came, tapped it, and this was basically the trade we had on AED USD yesterday. So price came, activated it, and then we basically hit TP in like 3 hours. So that's basically, this was the position we had on AED USD yesterday. So anyhow, let's look at what we can get today. Please, I want to say something before we continue. Yeah, these trades, yeah, I more or less don't like giving signals because signals I feel are not sustainable. Well, you can make money off it, but then in the long run, it will not be that sustainable. So why I do this analysis session is for you guys to see these things. Do you get? You can see it. If you don't understand it during the session, you can go back, watch the video. Yeah, try and replicate it. And then pay attention to it. Wherever we say we're entering, you can look to enter from that point. Do you get? That's basically it. And I don't expect that, okay, the first day you follow it, listen, you can watch it over time. And then if it works, you too, you can start doing it by yourself. Yeah, I feel that one is even better than giving you signals and then you don't know the know-how. You don't know how the signals come up or come from, or you don't know where it comes from. So that's basically it. Yeah. You guys can go back, try and replicate it. These things are simple, honestly. Very, very simple. They are simple stuff. They are not hard. So now, today on AED/USD, if you look at the 4H, we're still bearish. Our directional time frame is still bearish. Our directional time frame is still bearish. We're still bearish. We basically created a lower high, then we've created a lower low now because price just broke this low here. So we're still bearish. Let's go back to the 1H. What can we get on this 1H? We created this low here yesterday. This was during the news. Price has come back up to that lower high point. And then we have more or less created a lower high, price is going down. What can we watch out for? Let's see. First of all, price is tapping into this more or less resistance here. But then remember, we're actually bearish on the lower time frame. Let's see. Me, I don't like taking sales from like resistance levels. I don't like taking sales from there. If not, that's actually an entry criteria, but I don't like taking sales from there. Most times, price will just do and will still reverse. So I don't like it. What I'm going to wait for instead is, can price come to actually break this low to the downside? You get, if I can have that break of structure, then the next thing I'll be looking for is a retest and a continuation. That's basically, so I'll wait for that break. If we can get it, then I'll be looking at price retesting it and then continue. Then another one we can watch out for is price can just do this thing it's doing here, form more or less like it will come here and then just break above. It will form something like an inverse head and shoulder. You get. So in that case, now price will start indicating to us that what we're reversing. So that one now, it will be another story entirely, but I'll be leaning towards the sells. If we can get the sells, fine. If we can't get the sells, then I'll be looking for price to basically shift. I'll be looking for price to come break above this lower high, which is a shift in market structure. Then I'll be looking for more or less a retest and then the continuation as usual. So that's what I'll be looking at for on AED/USD. We're bearish, so we're looking for sells. The first thing we're looking for is basically sells. If we can't get those sells, then maybe we'll get the shift in market structure. But then another thing is the market. We might just start ranging. Yeah, I think AED/USD up to now is still ranging. There's no clear stuff on it. So let's jump on AED/USD. Sorry, I'm laughing. It's just that it's very funny. Since yesterday, we've been ranging on this pair. Yeah, we've been ranging, and it doesn't want to do anything proper. It's actually frustrating. I feel that's why I'm even laughing. So it's frustrating, honestly. Especially for someone like me that just trades two pairs. If you don't see what you're looking for, it's more or less like you can't do anything in the market. You just have to sit down by force and watch. So it's sort of frustrating. Let's go to the 4H and see. So if you look at this 4H2, you more or less start seeing the symptoms of the range. So we had this low here, prices within that. We have this whole high here, and price is still within that. So I'm more or less just consolidating here. It's not as big as this other consolidation we had here, but it's a mini consolidation. So now, price has just tapped into the top of that range. Please, for those of you that know me very well, I don't like trading range. The thing is, it's sharp tempting to look like something I might start trading, but nah. We're at the top of the range. I want to leave it alone. What can we look out for on this NZD/USD now? First of all, if you look at the 4H, before this range, we were actually coming from a downtrend. Yeah, we had this lower low here. Then price went, created the lower high. Then up to now, we have not broken to create another lower low. So I'm still leaning towards the whole sell buy. It's not as if I'm sell biased, do you get? But then, how will I put it now? If I see sales, I go happy pass. That's basically it. So now, I would like to see, okay, price come and break this place here like this. Then we get a retest and then the continuation more or less. But then at the same time, we can break the top of the range. If we shall break the top of the range, I'll leave it to shall do that whole uptrend well before I jump on it. But once it breaks below, I know that, oh, we're starting the downtrend and I'll start attacking it. So that's basically it. This one is just to leave it for now. Let's see more price action before we can jump on it. So I told you guys on the group chat to actually drop currency pairs that I'll look at. Okay, Chuku drops GU. I've looked at all my pairs. So let's look at your pairs, guys. GBP USD. GBP USD sold yesterday very well. And I think I woke up this morning and I was, oh shit, this is actually nice. So GBP USD was more or less bearish yesterday. That's we created the lower low, lower high. Another lower low, and price is retracing back up to create a lower high. So we have this whole area here that price has tapped into. Let's see, no entry criteria on the lower time. Let's drop our Fibonacci. From the top to the bottom. If we look at our Fib here, our entry points, see our entry points is around here. It's still at the top. And one thing with GU that I've observed over time is GU loves doing extreme stuff. Like GU likes going into the 0.618. I am sure this whole tab that I tapped here was the whole 0.5. And that's why the team rejected like that. So 0.5s mostly are always for fix. So what can we look out for on this one? Yeah, we can just use our Fibonacci and enter, yeah, once price gets to the 0.618. Please, you guys be watching, the person that drops GU. This is what I am basically focusing on GU. For price to go back, tap that 0.618 and then we'll catch sales from there to the downside. So that's basically what we can have on.
What time is this?
This is on the 1 hour. Let me look at the 4H. Sorry, I didn't even look at the 4H to know what bias we had. The 4H has shifted though. 4H is more or less bullish. So this is what has happened with the 4H. We created this lower low here, a lower high, lower low. Yeah, and then price came, We sort of consolidated here for a while. We created this low. Then boom, we broke above. So now we broke above this lower high here. In that case, now we have what? A shift in market structure. And then price is more or less retracing. So now this point that price tapped here is kind of like that high that price broke. This one is a tricky one. I don't want to actually go against the trend because our 4H is actually bearish. And this kind of thing, they make motor jam person for market. But this so small movement, this thing is doing to the upside. You know what? Let's just watch out and see. In as much as the 4H is bearish, sorry, it's bullish, this 1H has already started shifting. It has already started the clean down trend. Honestly, it has already started the clean down trend. Let's just watch. What I would just do right now, if I was the one trading this thing, I'll be much more conservative. I'll not enter aggressively. I'll be much more conservative. So once price gets to this 0.618, I'll go to the lower time frame to look for entry criteria. Things like a bearish pin bar or shift in market structure on the lower time frame. So that's what you can just look out for. I'll not enter aggressively like that. But the way price is going, there's this whole thing. I learned one time, I think was it last year or so, the difference between an impulsive move and retracement. One of the differences is that impulsive moves, we just have few candles that will be very, very powerful. And then retracement will have plenty candles that will be struggling to go up. Now, see in this case, see how many candles are still trying to cover one candlestick that GU made a move to the downside with. Do you get? So that's the sign that these buyers are actually weak. Do you understand? And it's still a seller's market. So honestly, the sells, I'll still go with it. It's a valid setup. You can take it. Jump on it at the 0.61, stop loss above the 0.79, and then just target it like this. So this is what you can watch out for in GU. If it doesn't play out, or it's just, see, they can never be perfect. Yeah. So let's stop trying to make it perfect. You get, if it doesn't work, then it's just another day in the market. It's just another L. It's just make sure that the next opportunity we're ready and there to take it. That's just it. Then Euro GBP. Where are they go get all these cross pairs from? Euro GBP. Euro GBP. Euro GBP. I'm not going to say anything about this one. You guys know why already. If you look at it, we just stay flat. We're flat here. And this pair has a notorious thing of just being flat after some time, then doing impulsive move. Flat after some time, impulsive move. I don't like this about thing. This one like this, how you even know when to catch this sell or buy? Then I think someone said Euro JPY. Musharraf on this call. Jesus, what's be this? If you look at the 4H, this pair is still bullish. So we had sort of like a range here. Did we properly break above? Yes. Candlestick closed above, but then now we're coming back inside, and I see we want to break to the downside. Hey, the places you guys used to go and find currency pairs, and they always shock me. So let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. This pair is very, very tricky. Honestly, I won't lie, it's very, very tricky. So we sort of created this low here. I'll not call it a lower low. And then we did like a high here. This one, the way I'm analyzing itself, it looks as if I'm forcing it. Please, the person that dropped this pair, don't vex. Let's just wait for more price action on this pair. Right now, it's not clear. Anything I'll be doing here is more or less forcing it. And I hate setups that are not really, really clear. see, we can do something. We can actually do something like this. Yeah. So now the 0.618 is around this area here. It's around here. So you can just watch out and see how will price behave when it gets to these areas. That's just it. Apart from that, there's really nothing. Even this one that looks as if I'm forcing it.
GPP I want to know the analysis on that, sir.
Okay, GPPC. Let's see. The 4H on this one is actually, can I call this a range? We have these lows here that price has respected like 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Then we have this high at the top here. Something like this. So for me, we're still very much inside the range, in as much as we have escaped to the top. Normally range, sometimes price can escape, but it will still come back inside, just like this scenario we had here. So to be on the safer side, on this 4H, I would like to see price more or less retest this area, then was break above before I can say it has escaped the 4H and it has escaped the range on the 4H. Now going to the lower time frame, going to our entry time frame, what can we look out for? So we have this high here, this one here. Right now, we are not going to do anything on this pair. We have this high here, and then we have this low here. What are we watching out for? Can price come and break above? Once it breaks above, what we'll be looking out for is a retest and then a continuation. If we don't break above, though, we can actually break to the downside. If we break to the downside, we can just do stronger and trade inside that 4H range. We'll be looking towards basically sell. Once price retests it, retest this low here, that's break below the low, retest, we sell, and then we look to ride it to the downside. Another thing it can just do is do what it has been doing already, consolidate. It has been consolidating inside here like this, and that's a very, very, very wicked market disinformation. I will not like to trade that one. So it's just to sit back and watch how it will play out. That's all. Is there any other currency pair you guys want us to take a look at?
No, sir.
Okay, cool. So in the absence of any other currency,
GPB AUD, the last one.
AUD. Okay, GBP AUD.
Yes.
Is bullish or bearish? Okay, we're sort of bullish on this one. We basically we're ranging and then we broke above and then we're retracing. We're sort of retracing right now. So let's jump on here and see what we can get. This pair is tricky. So see something here. The last lower high was here. Do you get? So price made an impulsive move. The retracement now to come and take more buys and continue. Price retrace deeply. So we might have something like this, price tapping here and then breaking back to the downside. So once it does something like that, then we can start looking for sales. But right now, we're still bullish. And we just activated buys at a bullish zone. So what you can watch out for, to jump on the buys, you cannot just enter that buy wagon right now, yeah? Because the impulsive move have already started. Yet. So we can look to see, okay, price, can you come and break above and continue this uptrend? As you've created a higher low, create a higher high. Then we jump on the next higher low and continue the trend. What if we can't create another higher high? Then we'll come down and break what? The higher lows. And once we break a higher low to the downside, that's a shift in market structure. Do you get? So what that indicates is that on this time frame now, we should start looking for sales. So that's basically it with this pair right now. On the higher time frame, we're actually bullish. But on this time frame now, we're actually starting to see signs that we might start reversing soon. And it's looking like there's something I actually missed. Let me bring out another thing to your notice. Look at this low here, but price just broke it to the downside. And if you look at it critically, price just tapped into that low. It's more or less like a support turned towards a resistance. Do you get? And this rejection we had here, this small rejection from this candlestick here is coming from that zone. So now, what can we do? Let me see. Let me drop my feed from here to here. Have we tapped the 0.618? Oh, we've already tapped the 0.618. So more or less, the sales have already started. Anyhow, it's just to leave it. Let's just see price break all those major areas I spoke about. But then this one would have been a small sell that I could have just rolled from, let's see, from here, stop loss just above there, and then you target down here. That would be like a small sell. So 50 pips sell. But the thing has already activated and started. So it's just to watch out and see where price will break, either to the upside or to the downside. It's just to watch out and see for now. So is there another currency pair? Okay. So please, like I was emphasizing, guys, yeah, most of this stuff, even if you cannot follow from just watching the video on live, yeah, you can go back, rewatch the video and try to replicate things, yeah, try to like mark them out on your chat. Do you get? If you have questions, you can still drop the questions. So we'll come to another session, you ask the questions. That's basically how you can be improving. Yeah. So I really want to appreciate you guys for joining this session. It's always nice analyzing with you guys. Please, like I always say, trade what you
sorry, sir. So you said that you are going to tell us something before you start this live session.
Oh, you said I was going to tell you. I said I was going to tell you guys something. I think
yes.
that was the whole part. That was the whole part that you guys should. When did I say that? When did I make that statement?
No, you said that there was a about market. You said around that kind 2 p.m. in the night something happened, but I tried
Are you
to
sure
recover
I'm
it.
the one?
Yes, before you start the live session.
Okay, that there's actually news. Oh, there's okay, it's fundamental. Yeah, by 2:30. Look at it, trailing GDP. So we might actually have a lot of volatility that time. That's basically what it means. It's a high impact move. You understand?
Yeah, okay, thank you, sir.
Yeah, no
I
problem.
get it.
So guys, yeah, trade what you see, not what you feel. So in as much as waiting for that setup is going to be uncomfortable, we just have to wait for it. Yeah. Have a very wonderful trading day, guys. I'll catch you guys same time tomorrow. Bye, guys.